How long you think it was gonna take before we got here? Now you gotta prove yourself all over again. Come on.
Ain't nobody coming, I've been gunning from 100 yards, trying to hit my mark, missing every time. This will be the start of the picture perfect. Watch you.
Good morning, Mr. Terry. How are you?
Good, and you?
I'm doing pretty good. Glad to be, well, sort of glad to be back. This sort of stuff, yes, fun to get back on air and go back through our horse racing picks today. The 8 race card at Finger Lake should be a lot of fun. But, you know, like so many things in life, Terry, when you're having fun and you're on your own time, you're doing what you want to do and not what you have to do, that time remarkably always goes by so much faster than any other time in your life.
Absolutely true. Yep.
I almost wonder sometimes, like when you're done with it, if it's really just a dream or if it was real, because you're back to the normal routine so fast.
Well, that's true too. But you know, one of the things I've found is that the anticipation of the trip or whatever you're going to do, to me, is more fun than the actual trip.
I can't say that was the case for us. We had a good time at, getting ready to go. Me, my brother, my son, and his 2 kids went out to New York to see Metallica. That was a lot of fun. If you're a Metallica fan, I would strongly encourage you going. If you're not, it's a band that won't be around a whole lot longer, so still a good reason to go. Then we stopped in where I grew up in the Poconos, and it's funny what life does to you, Terry. We went to a place called Red Rock.
Yeah.
That's a place where the river bends, right?
Yeah.
And we used to jump off the bridge where the train would go by into the water. It's probably about a 35-foot drop. And then we went over to, there was cliffs on the other side, probably about 25, 30 feet with the rope and the cliffs and everything. So the last time I was there, I was probably 17 years old. I'm 57 now. So 40 years have gone by. In the words of Bob Seger, 40 years, man, where'd they go? 40 years, man, I don't know. But so we swam over, went up to the cliff, grabbed the rope. When I was 17, there wasn't a thought. Jump, woohoo, flip, do whatever to go into the water, right? Now I'm 57. I'm standing up there. I'm like, is my shoulder going to hold up? Is my arm going to hold up? My nephew had to go before me. And then, I went. But it's amazing how your brain works differently when you're 57 than when you're, 17. No hesitation as a 17-year-old. Like I said, flips, swan dives, back flips. You didn't care if you hit the rocks. You were going to get up. Now you're like, man, everything's going to break before I hit the water. But unfortunately,
that's right. You don't think that way when you're 17th. You're indispensable. So.
You're actually 10 foot tall and bulletproof, right? Mm-hmm. And then finally we stopped at Ohio State University. We went to go see some old-time concerts, Def Leppard and Motley Crue and Alice Cooper. Surprisingly, Alice Cooper, for an old guy, man, he sounded really, really good. So in any case, that was our trip. Now we're tripping back to New York, Terry, today because Parks is still on hiatus. They took a longer hiatus than I did. Maybe I should be on the Parks schedule and not on the Horse Racing Today schedule. But we're back to normal today. I know there was a little bit of problems last week with Horse Center. This week, everything will be back on par with Jamie and Sean. Tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, they have a very young new trainer into the business, Cassandra Judd. Wonder if there's any relation to the Ashley Judd family. We'll find that out tonight. Kind of a little bit of a resemblance there, so you never know.
Yeah.
8 p.m. tonight with Sean and Jamie Martinez. Make sure you hit the subscribe button with all the stuff down there below for our social sites here on YouTube, so that you don't miss a damn thing that we do. All right, Terry, this is what you and I do. We do horse racing. So
that's right.
We do picks. We're doing race 1 at Finger Lakes for right now.
All righty. So, yes, I'm supposed to tell you what it is.
And I was the one that was on.
Yeah, it's a mile and 16th. It's a $5,000 claiming race, purse of $12,600 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since February 14th. 2023, or which have never won a 4 races. So,
all right. So at a mile and a 16th so far at the Finger Lakes meet, only run 4 races so far. Early Speed has done pretty well. Only one of those 4 went wire to wire. Pretty good rail bias for Kodiak Brown. So keep an eye on that one. 2 and 3 get a little bit of a bonus as well. And then 4 through 7 played fair so far. 8 and out, no winners, Terry, probably because they don't field too many 8-horse fields at Finger Lakes. Again, I know didn't really have them every time I was gone. I tried. I know we only had them on Thursday, I think, for Saratoga. But we do 1,000 simulations using speed figures to see who would score the maximum speed figure. Calculate that into odds to look for some overlays. We also use 1,000 simulations here in this column to see who will be where or what chance they have to have the lead at the quarter-mile marker. And then our own concoction, the C-Zone, which measures the pace of this race and how likely the horse is going to get a race that mirrors some of its best performances. Terry, what does the data tell you as far as this race is concerned?
Well, you see there that inside horse, the 2, has a lot of speed, and the only other one is 5. So the 2 should get there at first, but the 5 may have something to say about it. As far as the overlays, the 3 has a really nice overlay. It's supposed to be just over even money, and it's actually at 4-1 on the morning line. And then the 4 is 4-1 on morning line, and it's simulated. I mean, 6-1 on the morning line, simulated odds 4-1. All of them have nice C-Zone except for the 1 and 3.
Yeah, with the 2 and the 4 scoring the best. They like to get the most comfortable trip. We like to do all sorts of handicapping around here, so we also do pace handicapping. That's what you see here. E are the horses that want the lead, so I call them pilots. EPs can pilot or co-pilot. The Ps are co-pilots. They don't want to be on the lead, but they don't mind sitting right off the lead. Your PC types are very versatile. They can sit in anywhere on the plane. They can sit in the front. They can sit in the back or anywhere in the middle, even in the exit rows, and still find their ways to the winner's circle. And then finally, your C are your closers. Looking at this race shape, Terry, I would want most likely somebody forwardly placed. I think they would have the best shot, as most folks are going to be middle back. If you're looking for early speed, according to recency bias, Quad Party, that 6 horse, the Lone P, does have the most giddy up and go when the gates open. Late speed, if that's your thing. I know that's Christopher D'Souza's thing. Kodiak Brown and Kingfish, those 2 have a pretty good advantage over the rest of the field, scoring about 10 points better than most. So that is about 2 lengths. So if the 1 or the 3 coming out of that turn are about 2 lengths or less, then the horses in front of them could be very difficult to hold off. And then if you're a total pace player, Quad Party does score 6 points better than Far Away Look. A little bit of a dip down from there, but still a pretty competitive race from top to bottom in here in the opener, Terry. How are you seeing this one line up?
Well, I like the 5 Far Away Look because my top pick finished 5th in his first race back from a 10-month break after coming into the stretch 5 wide. He has a high percentage winning trainer, and his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. He's actually tied with the 4 horse. At number 1, Kodiak Brown's my second choice. He's eligible to improve in his 3rd start since layoff, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. The 3, Kingfish, finished 3rd in his last race, has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer, and this trainer wins 23% of the route races he has an entry in. That's my 3rd pick. My long shot is Flat Bill, the 4. He finished 3rd versus in his last race, and his dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. It's actually tied, as I said, with the 5. I'm going to play a 50-cent pick for him. I'm going to use a 1-3-5 with the 1-4-6 with the 1-3-6 with the 5.
So Erman saying 1 versus 3 in race number 1. Is that what we like in there, the 1 versus 3? I think Terry has the 1 as his second pick. I got him in my 4th. I like the 3. We'll talk about the reasons why in just a minute. Grandma, nice to see you as well. I am the new guy. Feel that way sometimes. Let's see how many times I screw up today. Good to see everybody as well. All right, for me, coming back, see if I've stayed sharp on the trip, if a little bit of a break sharpened the brain or dulled it. We'll find out. Kingfish, the resume says this one should be better in the 3rd start after a layoff. Last time out, showed some improvement early on. I like to see that. Again, that goes back to Craig Milkowski. Time for him. Show me some better early pace in the previous race. Going to see a horse that's likely to improve in this one. Far Away Look, the 5 horse trainer Michael Ferraro and jockey Luis Perez. This combination, they win 29% of the time. That's a good number. But more impressively, they have a 95-cent positive ROI. And if I look through the past performances, it looks to me like Far Away Look has the most potential upside in the race. Number 6, Quad Party, is the total top pace horse in the race with the best early pace, as we saw in our recency bias, and also scored the top last race speed figure last time out. Finally, that 1 horse on the rail, Kodiak Brown, it's going to ride that strong rail, 3rd race after layoff. And of course, if you're at Finger Lakes, if there's a trainer, the last name is Engelhart, you cannot ignore that combination. Although I did see that the horse did regress a little bit last out. That was my concern there. I'm going to do a pick 4-3-5-6 with the 1-4-6 with the 3-5-6. We're both going to live and die with Janis Joplin at the end of that series, Terry. So,
one of my favorite singers
of all time.
Yep.
Let me hear you bust out a verse for me, Terry.
Oh, I can't sing her song.
Come on, man. All right. So let's move off to race 2. If you can't sing a song, Terry, maybe you can share your song for us in the second start of the day at Finger Lakes. What are we looking at condition-wise?
All right, it's 1.70 miles. It's for maiden claimers, $11,000. The purse is $16,000. It's for maidens 3-year-olds and upward.
Yes, indeedy. So the 1.70 mile race, keep an eye on this one because we'll see a few of them in today's card through the 8th race. Early speed seems to be the pattern at Finger Lakes, 25% of the time at this 1.70 mile distance. They do go wire to wire. Milagroso could have a little bit of a difficult time on that rail because it gets a little bit of a discount. 2 through 7, slightly better than fair. 8 and out, again, maybe not fielding too many 8-horse fields. Still no wins in that regard. In the second race, Terry, our simulations share some insights. What are they in your view?
All right. Well, the 1, the 3, and the 5 all show some speed, especially that one who's got the benefit of the rail. But who knows who's going to get there? The 4 has a really nice overlay. It's supposed to be like 3 to 5, and its morning line is 7 to 2. And then as far as the C zones, the 1 and the 2 have the most C zones, especially the 2.
Yeah, it looks pretty sharp there. Going to get a race that should really fit its eye, so to speak. In the second race, our pace set up. We have a barbell here. Well, no, we don't even have a barbell. The 1 and the 4, they want to show speed. But of course, this is maiden claiming, so none of them have gotten to the winner's circle yet. The 2, the 3, the 5, and the 6, none of them have been within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line in their race experiences so far. Yeah, I would probably want the 1 or 4 here. Early speed coming out of the gates does look like that belongs to the 3-horse, though, Tom's Legacy. But look at that red figure back here. So if that one can keep some of its late legs, maybe has a shot, decent advantage over everybody else. Of the 1 and the 4, it does look like the 1 has the best early pace. As far as late speed is concerned, that 4-horse and the 2-horse pop into the top there. Although the 2-horse, if it doesn't get off to a good enough start, that one should be way behind the field. Probably not enough extra juice to catch up at the end. And the total pace, what we're going to see, Terry, is the 2 horses that want to be out in the front, 1 and the 4, have a distinct advantage over the rest of the field. We'll see if they can carry that through to the finish line today. Terry, what do you say?
I like the 1 horse. Milagrosa is my first choice. Ran second versus similar in his last race. Has the highest last speed rating. His best start speed is fastest among today's starters. And he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. So he marks a lot of boxes off. I like the 4 Looking Grand. It is my second choice. Finished in the money in his last 3 races. Finished in third versus similar in the last race. Number 6 Over the Caps. My third pick. Drops in class today. He has a high percentage winning trainer. And then I like Sharpoon. The 5 is my long shot. He comes in from Belmont Park to try Finger Lakes and drops in class while doing that. I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 3. I'm going to use the 1, 4, 5, 6 with the 1, 3, 5, 6 and single Janis Joplin in that last leg.
Good luck to you, everyone, today. I agree with that sentiment. JT Brew, thanks for welcoming me back. He's going to do a pick 4 here with the 2-4 in race 1, the 1-4 with the 3-6, and he's going to go against Janis Joplin with the all. In race number 1, looks like he's going to put $20 to win on Matesta, $10 exacta box, 2 and 4 in the opener. As for me in race number 2, as they get prepped for the opener, real quick, I like Milagroso. Did run the top last race speed figure, increasing that number in the 2 prior starts. Did show a lot more early speed last out. That 4-horse Looking Grand ran a Z pattern, so the early pace figure here. Mid-race, a little bit of a dull. And then pop back up. So second wind in the stretch last time out. And in those early and late parts of the race, improved a lot from the prior start. Over the cap, the 6-horse, probably making the biggest class drop in the field. And just had one of his best, I think, second best published works in between races. And finally, Sharpoon, the 5-horse, small class dropper, a track dropper. And going to catch a weight break in here as well. I'm going to go to my standard trifecta, Terry. 1, 4, 6 over the 1, 4 over the 1. 2, 4, 5, and 6. Now we can rewind back to race number 1. So it looks like they're pretty close to getting it going, Terry. Well, they're still kind of walking around in the back there a little bit. So while we waited for them to find their way to the gate, because we have one of those smaller tracks that they want to juice up the pools before they get running, today's free track of the day at Guaranteed Tip Sheet, where there is a link in the description down below, is Thistledown. After going through all of the data there, I felt like that was the card that was probably the most, I'm going to say predictable, but that's probably the right word. In race number 1, Time for Cupid. That horse gets the best bet designation. Perhaps it can come home as a winner and one that you might want to center your tickets around. And they're still mulling around in race number 1, Terry. So while they mull around in race number 1, what should folks do if they haven't done so already here at Horse Racing Radar TV?
Well, they should subscribe to YouTube and hit that little bell so they're notified with all of our great programs. Go ahead and give us a like and a thumbs up. Go down to the bottom, hit the share button, and copy that link, post it to all your friends and neighbors on all your social sites. And then, you can follow us on our social sites at Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, and TikTok at Horse Race, the number 2 day, and give us the likes and thumbs up there. We'd really appreciate it.
Indeed, we would indeed. So right now, looking in race number 1, I think they're making their way to the gates. As I look at it, the 5 horse is now your favorite. That one is 6-5. The 3 horse is your second favorite at 2-1. Then that 2 horse, Meseta, the one that JT Brew likes, that one's 5-1. So 20-1 on that will be a nice payday for JT if that one comes home first. The 1 horse is next up at 7-1. Then the 4 horse at 9-1, and then the 6 horse, my third pick there. Well, I don't mean to be greedy, Terry, but if that one won the pick 4 to get started, I wouldn't be unhappy about that. Looks like that's the only one they're waiting for to get into the gates is the 6 horse as it kind of wiggles its way in there. They're all lined up. Mr. Tony Callow makes his call. The 6 horse getting off to a pretty good break, kind of squeezing that 5 horse a little bit with the 4. The 5 horse has indeed far and away look, along with the 2, made their way to the front just as our simulation said they would. 5 horse kind of running up the track a little bit around the turn. I'd be a bit concerned about that if I was back in that. The 6 horse is running kind of wild too, so I'd be a little bit concerned about that one coming home at 13-1. The 2 horse has gotten to the lead, staying up on the lead right now at 5-1. They go through the opening quarter in 24-8. I think for this level of horse, maybe about right, maybe a little bit on the quick side. We'll find out. They make their way down the backside. The 2 horse, Meseta, still on the lead to the outside. Favorite at 3-2, far away look. You got a gap of probably about 1.5 horses. 6 horse, 3 wide, probably not going to be a factor at the end, running 3 wide all the way around the track. The 4 horse, though, is trying to make a move, but the 6 horse is still in front of them. Those 2 look like they're coming to the finish line already as they're bobbing heads. The 1 horse on the rail there, Kodiak Brown, that early morning line favorite at 2-1 seems to be fighting it as they went through the opening quarter and opening half in 49-9, so almost 50 seconds. It does look to me like the 5 horse is starting to range up on the outside there. That 6 horse is, and the 4 horse, look like they're making some moves, some ground up on the front runners there, of which the 4 horse looks like it's the better moving of the 2. The 5 horse is taking the lead. The question now is, can anybody from the back run these down? Because the 4 horse has just gone by the 5 horse. I think he has. The 1 horse is going to try to split horses in the middle there. He is going to get there. The question is, can the looks like it's going to go. The 1 horse, 1, 4, 3, and 5, Terry. 1, 4, 3, and 5. You're alive on your pick 4. Unfortunately, I am not. And if you had taken Terry's 4 horses and boxed them together, you would have had yourself a trifecta there. Even a superfecta. So good start there for you, Terry. Looks like maybe I might have knocked some of my horse racing acumen out of my head when I hit the water diving off the cliffs at Red Rock.
Yeah, sounds like it. So
horse race number 3 is where we're going to go now, Terry. So take
us
through the particulars in race number 3 at Finger Lakes.
All right. In this race here, it's 6 furlongs. Excuse me. It's a claiming $11,000 claiming price. It's purse of $17,300. It's for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races.
So that 1 horse went off at 6-1. That 4 horse went off at 11-1. So that should be a really nice exacta. The 3 was 8-5, and the 5 was your favorite at 3-2. So that should that's a good way to start your pick 4 there, Terry. Hopefully you make it all the way through. Janice Joplin comes through for us at the end. Well, in race number 3 at 6 furlongs, you're talking about early speed. Hell, 40% of the time in a lot of races, they go wire to wire. Post position, we'll see Wabanese gets a small bonus. 2 through 7 play fair, 8 and out. In this case, they do get some bigger fields, a little bit of a penalty. So Wabanese on the inside, everybody on the outside getting a little bit of a ding. So we're looking for some inside speed in race number 3, Terry. And according to our simulator, most of the speed scratched out with the Morey Fire.
Yeah, the 3, 6, and 5 are the ones that show the most speed, but none of them really are really way out there. So with that main speed scratched, who knows who's going to get there? The one has a small overlay. It's supposed to be just over 4-1. It's 5-1 in the morning line. And the 6 also has a small the 2 also has a small overlay. It's supposed to be almost 5-1, and it's listed at 6-1. And then the 1 and the 6 show the most C-zone numbers.
As far as our pace scenario is concerned in the third race, we do see most of the horses want to be middle forward. From the Sesame Street standpoint, which one here doesn't look like the other? Sweet Invasion is the one that doesn't look like any of the others. Sometimes that horse can have an advantage. It would be particularly so if it had a really strong late speed advantage, but it doesn't. If you're looking for the early speed type, the 6 is an E, so it needs to be on the lead. It'll be there, pressed with the 3-horse, Lady Quinn. So those two should be up front, although all 4 of this, except for maybe True Destiny, should be within a length or so of the link at the quarter-mile marker. So that should make late speed more important. Wabanese does get that top late pace score, a few points better than Sweet Invasion, that lone closer. Pretty Miss Keen's right there as well. Our total pace, if that's your play, number 1, Wabanese. Well, the only horse that doesn't look like it fits is True Destiny. Otherwise, the other 4 horses, the 1, the 2, and the 6, and the 3, they're all pretty similar total pace-wise. And, on a 4-race field, probably 80% chance the winner is going to come from that group.
All right. So I like in this third race, Pretty Miss Keen's, the 6. She ran second versus similar in her last race, winning the race before that, and has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. Lady Quinn, the 3, is second choice, ran second versus similar in her last race. It has a high percentage winning trainer and a jockey. And this combination in the last 14 days have won 2 out of 5 starts with the second. Wasabi is the one. She's my third pick. She has won her last race at Finger Lakes, and she has a highest speed figure at today's distance. The rail post is winning a 19% clip, so she got a little bit of an advantage there. And then 5, True Destiny, is my long shot. She has won 2 races in a row, and she's going for a hat trick now. And in addition to that, she has 3 bullet workouts in a row. I'm going to play a $1 daily double, the 1, 3, 5, 6, and single the 5, Janis Joplin.
I'm going to go ahead with the 6 horse in here as well, Terry, as my top pick in race number 3. Pretty Miss Keen's 3 consecutive speed figure increases in a row. Again, Barry Meadows' book, The Skeptical Handicapper, that is an alpha angle. Wins at 15% or more. Last time out, 1 of 3 horses in this field to tie for the top last race speed figure. I did show a little bit better fractions. Number 3, Lady Quinn, tied for the top last race speed figure as well. The resume says second start after a layoff is likely to be a lot better than the first race off the bench, and was the lone EP horse in the field that wants to be middle forward. So one that might have the most versatility up front. Number 5, True Destiny, does show some early speed, Terry. Like to see that. Going to get the first time Lasix here, which speed and Lasix I like. The horse has put 3 bullet workouts in since its last race. I'm just wondering if maybe she's leaving her best effort on the backside with all those bullet works. Finally, Wabanese is the 4th of the group here, or the 3rd of 5 to tie for the top last race speed figure. I'm a little concerned about that last race with lower fractions at 5.5 furlongs than it did at the prior start at 6. Shortening up should make the horse faster, not slower. Maybe didn't need any more juice because it did end up winning that race by 4.5 lengths. Trifecta 3, 5, 6 with the 3, 6 with the 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6 for me in race number 3. If we rewind real quick back to race number 1, Terry, let's take a look at some of those payouts there for race 1. If you took Terry's 4 picks, put them together in an exacta box, that $2 1-4 exacta paid $121. Wow. That's off the charts, man.
It's great.
The 50-cent try paid $61.25, and the 10-cent superfecta, 1435, $23.67. Kodiak round, $15.80 to win. Flat bill, $8.40 to show. So hopefully somebody boxed that, Terry.
I hope so.
All right. And then race number 4 is what we're going to do with our next train of thought. Tell us about the particulars once again.
Well, it's in a mile and 70 yards, and we're going with an allowance race. This race, 25,800. The purse is 25,800, and it's for New York Thoroughbred Breeding Development Fund for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races.
All horses that have taken home the top prize just once. A mile and 70 yards, we talked about. Speed does do well 25% of the time. It stays on the front from beginning to end. Flurry of Roses, maybe a little bit of a discount there on the rail. 2 through 7 play fair, 8 and out. Haven't scored a W yet at a mile and 70 yards, which has been quite a few races at that distance. Must not field a lot of fields with that many horses in it. In race number 4, Terry, again, we see there's one in here that looks like it's going to leave a trail of smoke that everybody's got to catch.
Yeah, that 3, doesn't seem to be any other speed. If it doesn't have any trouble getting out of that gate, should do fine. The 5 has a overlay of which is Janis Joplin, which is even money, and it's supposed to be what's that about?
1 to 2.
Yeah, 1 to 2. But I'm sorry. And then the morning line has it at around 6 to 5 or so, 7 to 5. They all have nice C zones except for the 3 and the 4.
Yeah, those 2 could struggle a little bit. As far as the pace is concerned, does Janis Joplin get a pace? Well, it is the Sesame Street horse. It's the one that doesn't look like any of the other. The 2 and the 3, they want to be up on the front as your E-types. Looks like of those 2, the 3 horse is going. The 3 horse is the one that will get there. We saw that as well in the simulations. 2 is kind of far back off of that, so that one might flash some cheap early speed and then kind of fall off at the end. As far as our late speed is concerned, we do have a left arrow horse in here too with that 4, Tumbles. One that typically likes to close, but because of its normal early speed will be more forwardly placed versus this group than perhaps it's used to. A lot of times upsets happen in that scenario. As far as late speed, Flurry of Roses, that horse on the rail, should get the most late run. Star Speaker, not too close behind with the closers. The 4 horse kind of tailing off a little bit there, so you're going to see that one more forwardly placed, I think. And then Star Speaker does get a little bit of an edge over Janis Joplin as far as total pace is concerned, Terry. All except the 2 and the 3, Ice Love and Isabella of Gold, all within pretty much shouting distance of one another. We both settled on the 5 horse as a single in our pick 5. Unfortunately, I won't get there. But in any case, why do you like Janis Joplin?
Well, she won her last race at Finger Lakes, and her best start speed is fastest among today's starters. Has that high percentage winning trainer and jockey. The 1 Flurry of Roses is the second choice. She has finished in the money in her last 10 races, finished in 3rd versus similar in her last race. She also has a high percentage winning trainer. So she's very competitive. Number 2, the Ice Love is my 3rd pick, finished 3rd versus similar her last race, has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 42% of the races when taking blinkers off of a horse. And then Isabel's Loves Gold is the 3 by long shot. She finished in the money in 4 out of 7 races at Finger Lakes and has a high percentage winning jockey. And I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 5. I'm going to single Janis Joplin, the 5, go with the 1, 3, 4, 5, with the 5, 6, with the 2, 6, 7, finish up with the 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Well, you only have the 2 and the 6 in your pick here. Do you want to add the 7 or no?
Yes, I do. I'm sorry.
All right. You have the budget for that?
I do.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, wait a minute. Sure. No, I'm not sure.
All right. So maybe that's why the 7's not there.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
All right. So in any case, and the reason I tease him is because you have a $100 budget. And Terry, if I'm a nickel over, I get a text. You know you're a nickel over.
Yeah.
Any case, Janis Joplin, you know you got it. If it makes you feel good, right, Terry? There you go.
That's right.
And it makes me feel good that Janis Joplin did win the maiden special weight last race out with the top last race speed figure. And that was the first race at Finger Lakes. So I think that you'll see a better race today. And that's the only time I'll really take a maiden special weight or a maiden winner is if they come off that race with the top last race speed figure. Again, right out of Barry Meadows' Alpha Angles in his book, The Skeptical Handicapper. Number 2, Ice Love at Finger Lakes. Very successful. 3 times out, 2 seconds and a third. Haven't won yet, but never off the board. Big fan of the distance, 2, 10 times out. 1 win, 3 seconds, 4 thirds. So maybe one that likes to hang at the end of the race. The key here is not the end of the race for this horse. It's the beginning of the race. If it gets off to a quick start, it'll make all the difference in the world. If it's kind of sluggish out of the gate, could struggle to come in any better than third. Number 1, Flurry of Roses, third after a layoff. At times, this horse has some elites, high caliber, late pace. Finally, number 3, Isabel Loves Gold. That's next for me. Has some early speed. Gonna get that shot of Lasix for the first time today. And when you're fast and you get Lasix for the first time, a lot of times you're able to hang on to your speed longer. I'm going to go with a double here, $1, 5, and then all in the next leg. So if Janis Joplin scores here, I'm guaranteed to have a winning ticket. Just hope that in race number 5, a long shot is the one that takes home the prize. And we'll see if indeed that is the opportunity for us in the 5th race. Terry, tell us about this 6 furlong affair.
All right. Yes, this race is 6 furlongs. It's a claiming with a claiming price of $11,000. Purse 17,200. It's for 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races.
And again, at 6 furlongs, you better be fast because 40% of the time, those horses get to the front and they never see the backside of another horse. Gate to wire 40 out of 100 times. Small rail bonus for Klingman, so maybe that one outperforms, but doesn't look like that one likes to get off to a good start. So wire to wire might be out of the question for that one. 2 through 7 play fair. Again, 8 and out. A little bit of a penalty, Terry. So in the 5th race, we're looking for some inside speed, Terry. And, well, everybody but the 1 does got some go.
That's right. And the 2, 4, 5, and 6 shows all kinds of speed. Well, not a lot of speed, but they're all pretty darn close to each other. The 1 has a nice overlay. It's supposed to be just under even money, and it's listed at 5-1 in the morning line. And then the 6, 5, and 4, look, they have the really nice C-zones all in the green.
Indeed. Looking at the pace setup in the 5th spot as we work our way, we got a barbell race, 3 that want to be on the front and 3 that want to be on the back. So early speed is going to make all the difference in the world here, at least early pace. If that trio goes too fast, opens the door for the 1, 3, 5. If that trio just runs modestly, it could make it very difficult for the closers to find their way to the winner's circle. Looking at the early speed, the 6 horse, the 4 horse, the 2 horse, they are all going to be there. Of the closers, the 5 horse is the one that'll be most likely in front of the 1 and 3. So they get a little bit of a jump there. Our late speed figures, they go to the 1 horse, Klingman. Although with that early pace, that one's going to have to come from the clouds to catch everybody. Although that 18-point advantage probably gives it, what is that? Is it 18-point advantage? Yeah, it is 18-point advantage. That's about 3.5 lengths, Terry, although it looks like it's going to be about 4 or 5 lengths off of everybody at the end. So it'll really have to be coming at the end to find its way to the winner's circle. Finally, the total pace goes to that 6 horse up front. That one's the New York Riesling. And then that Klingman's right there with Matt Doyle. Although I probably prefer Matt Doyle simply because Klingman's got a lot of ground to make up if it runs to its normal early pace numbers. If it's a little bit quicker out of the gates than usual with that strong late edge, could be real difficult to hold that one off at the end. What you got?
I like North Coast, the 5. He ran second versus Simmer in his last race. His best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. Has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. Suppresso, the 3 is my second. Drops in class today and has a high percentage winning trainer. Klingman, the number 1. He finished 3rd versus Simmer in his last race. The rail posts win a 19% clip, and he has a trainer who wins 18% of the claiming races he has an entry in. Matt Doyle, my 4 horse, is the long shot. He has one out of 2 starts at Finger Lakes, drops in class today, has a high percentage winning jockey, and I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 4, 1, 3, 5 with the 5, 6 with the 2, 6 with the 1, 2, 4.
I'm in this race. Going to do a pick 4 too, Terry, in a moment, but I'm going to start off my picks like you, the 5 horse, North Coast. Last time out, missed by a neck at the top last race speed figure. Chance to up that number in the 3rd start after layoff. My concern for the 5-horse here, North Coast, is the only other time in its career it made it 3 races in a row without heading to the sidelines. It did regress badly. Number 4, Matt Doyle, last race was better than it looks on paper, Terry. Ran faster fractions at 6 furlongs compared to 5.5 furlongs. So you go longer and you run faster. That's doubly fast in my book. It's another one that's making the classic third start after a layoff. And unlike the 5, Matt Doyle tends to improve in start number 3 off the sidelines. Number 6, New York Riesling, highly consistent performer in this race. Last time out, its race internals were better from the beginning to the middle of the end, so across the board, improvement. Finally, number 1, Klingman, strong rail, does have that blistering late pace that we discussed in the pace setup. Third after a layoff, and another very consistent performer. My concern is this one's going to be so far back, might not be able to run them down, even though the sim odds say not a problem as the big overlay. I'm going to do a pick 4, 4, 5 with the 1, 3, 5, 6. The 2, 5, 6, and 7, and then close it out with the 2 and the 4. Race number 6 is next on our docket. Terry is going to go another 6 furlongs again with another allowance race.
Yeah, it sure is. So it's let me get to where I'm supposed to be. Okay, it's 6 furlongs, another allowance race, $24,000 purse for foals in New York. For a fold in New York State and approved by the New York State Bred Registry, 3-year-olds and upward which have not won a state bred race other than a maiden claiming or starter.
All right. So in the 6 furlong affair, again, we've talked about how 40% of the time they go wire to wire, a little bit of a rail bonus for devious banker. 2 through 7 play fair, 8 and out, a little bit of trouble perhaps. In race number 6, again, our focus should be on inside speed according to the track bias. It looks like most of the speed is right in the middle with Son of Darkness.
That's right. Got really a good speed numbers there, and it's kind of sandwiched in between 2 other horses that have some speed. The 1 has a really nice overlay. It's supposed to be 5-2 simulated odds, and it's 8-1 on the morning line. And then the 3 is supposed to be 4-5, and it's listed at 7-2 on the morning line. Most of them have good seed zone numbers except for the 3 and the 4.
The race shape for race number 6, we see everybody's kind of in the middle there. Nobody necessarily wants to be on the lead, although the 2, the 5, and the 6 are PC types, so they could take the lead if they want. They're the most versatile in this group. The 1, 3, and 4 probably prefer for somebody else to take charge. Looking at the recency of early speed, the 4 horse, Son of Darkness, and Wahil, those 2 are a little bit quicker than everybody else, but all of them with a 9 points. So you're going to see a blob of horses come out of the gate, probably tightly packed. Not much difference between the first horse and the last horse in the field, which should open the door for late speed playing a factor. Invaluable Will, 5 points better than the rest, means about a length. So if that horse is within a length out of that turn, coming down the stretch, Invaluable Will should be able to get in contention, maybe nip him at the wire. And that horse does indeed score out then as the horse with the top total pace, a little bit better, 4 points better than Wahil. Does look like the 4 Son of Darkness might be the one that's a little outmatched here, though. Tough to tell because they're all pretty close to one another, Terry. How do you see what looks like a competitive race on paper playing out?
All right. Well, I like it. It is very competitive, but I like Wahil. He has won 2 races in a row going for a hat trick, which is a really favorite angle of mine. Has a high percentage winning trainer. Devil or Angel, the 5, he has finished in the money in his last 8 races, winning 3 of those starts, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. Invaluable Will is the 3 horse, is my 3rd pick, ran 2nd versus similar in his last race, and earned the highest last race speed rating. And then number 1, Devious Banker. He finished in 3rd in his last race. The rail post is winning a 19% clip, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. I'm going to play a $1.
I got it mixed up. I'm fixing it for you.
What did I do?
You had the 7 in there, so I think you mean the 3, 5, and 6.
Yeah,
There's no 7 horse in the race, so
I don't know how I got that.
Yeah.
So anyway, getting back to my bet, I'm going to do a double. I'm going to use a 3, 5, 6 with the 2.
as far as I am concerned, I'm going to do the 5-horse as my top pick in race number 6. That one is Devil or Angel, Terry. I know which side I am on that equation. But at Finger Lakes, this one has done exceptionally well. 8 races, finishing the money 100% of the time. 3 wins, 4 seconds, and a third. I think that math adds up to 8 out of 8. Also a fan of the distance, 9 times out, 2 wins, 4 seconds, and a third. So this horse probably going to finish second behind the 6-horse there, right? But last time out, did show better fractions by about a second. I like that improvement. Number 6, Waheel, winner of 2 in a row. Very consistent output for this guy. Much faster fractions at 6 furlongs versus 5.5 furlongs in its last effort, and making the third start after a layoff. Invaluable Will, it is our simulation favorite here, Terry, coming off the race with the top last race speed figure. Did have much better, significantly improved early pace through the first half mile. Devious Banker, that 1-horse, Terry, not all that far from winning 4 races in a row. In fact, no more than a length behind the winner in any of them. Does get that strong rail bias, and speed figure increases in its last 2 races. Trifecta 3, 5, 6, or to 5, 6 over the 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6 for me in race number 6. We got 2 to go, but I'm curious, Emron, in race number 2, you have 5-1 versus 6-4. I think if I'm, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, you're texting in from Turkey. Do you have bets over there where you can take the 2-5 versus the 6-4 and you win if one of those 2 horses beat the other? Is that kind of how that bet works? I don't know that we have anything like that over here, Terry.
No, I don't either. I've never seen that before.
I know in golf they have stuff like that. One golfer can beat the other golfer. So if you're looking at that, I would say that I would probably, you got the 5-1. Yeah, that's a tough call in there because we both like the 1, but we put the 5 on the other end and then the 4, 6 in the middle. Just from a probability standpoint, I'd probably go with the 4 and the 6 because that's 2 of the top 3. Terry, what would your logic be there?
If we're doing that kind of thing that he's talking about,
that's what he's talking about. If you had the 5 and the 1 or the 4 and the 6,
I'd do the 4, 6 and the.
I would do that as well, but we'll see how that plays out because in race number 2, they're getting there. The 1-horse is your favorite right now at 6-5. Next up in race number 2 is the 4-horse. That one is 2-1. The next favorite is the 3-horse, which is 5-1. One that neither one of us have in our picks there, Terry. And then after that, you do have, the 6-horse is the third favorite at 9-2. Then the 3-horse, the 2 and the 5 are both 10-1. So as far as your pick 4 is concerned, Terry, I think you want the 6-horse probably to win here would be the best in terms of probable payout.
Be nice, but I don't care as long as something wins.
So you made a big advance.
I played some races this last weekend, and at Santa Rosa, I made a big mistake in the last race.
What was that?
I used all but 1 horse.
Ah, yes. And the 1 horse that you didn't take
won the race, and it was the longest shot on the board. And the pick 5, which I was alive to, paid over $12,000.
And how much did that cost you?
Probably, I don't know, $12 or $15 more would have costed. So anyway, but I did have a good weekend. I mean, they had that pick 5 that had the $2.5 million amount in the pool. It was at the Canadian track, and I can't pronounce the name of Seba or whatever it's called, Sanabalo or
Asanobia.
Yes, and I hit that and had it twice. So for 20 cents, I hit it and got $1,200 twice. So
that's good.
Yeah, and then
hopefully you sent some of it home.
Yeah, I did. I sent all because I hit another pick 4 or pick 5. I don't remember which paid $2,800. So I had a really good weekend, and so what my advice is if you're going to use say 5 out of 6 horses in your pick 4, pick 5, never leave one out because I've done that at least 3 or 4 times. It cost me big money doing that. The other thing I wanted to bring up is people think that racetracks like Santa Rosa, you can't make any money because of small fields, 5 and 6 horse fields. That's not true. There were several big pick 5s and pick 4s during the meet. So,
I'm The one thing you have to pay attention to, though, is money pools, because that should dictate about how much you should be betting on those pick threes, pick fours, pick fives, those vertical bets. Because if there's a small money pool, say $10,000, I mean, you don't want to commit as much money to a $10,000 money pool as you do to, say, $1 million money pool, right? Because even if you do catch the longest shot in every race, the most you can win if nobody else has it would be 10 grand, right? That's the way it works. So keep that in mind. Maybe somebody should do a little bit of math on that. Like, what's the proper ratio of money pool? And maybe somebody has, and I'm just unaware of it.
Yeah.
Like, what's the proper ratio of money pool to money bet, which would be, I think, an interesting endeavor.
It would be, yeah.
Maybe something we can consider here. We're just trying to kill time because the 5-horse doesn't want to go in race number 2 here, Terry, at 1 mile and 70 yards. He's kind of running around, doing his own thing, way away from the gates. He's all the way over there. Now the jockey's gotten off that horse. I don't know if they're retightening up the saddle there and see if maybe the horse will go in. But so far, no luck on getting – are they going to scratch? Yeah, they're taking that one away. So it looks like the 5-horse is going to scratch. So they are backing everybody out. Is that what they're doing? Or are they just going to move the are they just going to – they're backing everybody out. Wow. So we're going to have a little bit of a delay here for race number 2. Are they backing everybody out? Because that 3 and the – they come out, yeah. So say 2 of them are staying in there. All right, so while they back everybody out in race number 2, Terry, let's fast forward to race number 7. We'll go through our thing as quick as we can because they should go pretty quickly. In race number 7, we have a little bit of a stakes race here today, Terry.
It is. It's 6 furlongs. It's $50,000 purse. Yeah, Arctic Queen for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, foaled in New York State, approved by the New York State Registry.
Yes, and you cannot use Lasix in that race, so keep an eye on that, Terry. Again, 6 furlongs, 4 out of 10 go wire to wire. The rail gets a bonus. 2 through 7 play fair. 8 and out, a little bit of a struggle, perhaps. In the 7th race, if you're looking for some early speed on the inside, you're not going to find it because the one with the afterburners is all the way on the outside.
That's right. That's like a speed rocket, that 7-horse. So I'd be surprised if it didn't go to that quarter pole first. And it also has a nice overlay, 3-1 simulated odds, 6-1 on morning line. The 7 and the 2 have the best C-zone numbers.
You got that triple play there with the Queen Aurelia. The horse that's going to be on the lead, strongest C-zone, and the overlay. We've seen that combination hit a lot. All right, so they are loading again for race number 2. That was kind of quick. So let's see. The 5-horse in race number 2 is out. Both of us don't have the 5-horse in there. So for me, my pick 4, my trifecta, instead of that 5-horse would probably be the 3-horse for me. So I'm basically going to go 1, 4, 6, 1, 4, and then all.
Yeah, and mine would be 1, 3, 1, 4, 6. Yeah, 1, 4, 6.
You want to take out? You don't want to put the 3 in? Well, it's too late now. So
I'm sorry, 1, 3, 6 is what I do.
You would have 1, 3, 5, and 6. Okay.
Yeah.
5 coming out. So we'll just put that.
Oh, wait a minute. 1, 4, 6. Yeah, I did, huh?
So we'll put the 3 in there in its place, Terry, because that's the one you wanted next. We were talking about it before the race went off.
No, I think I'm all screwed up here because it should be 1, 4, 6. I don't know why I got the 5 there.
So you only want the 1, the 4, and the 6 then?
Yeah, the 1. Okay, that's the way I want it. 1, 4, 6. Yeah.
All right. Well, I have the 3 in there too because you had the 5 in there as well.
Yeah, I was looking at. I thought I had the 5 as my top pick, and I didn't.
All right. So anyway, here we go. Well, you had the 5 in there anyway. That's why I figured. I think you went with 4 of them. We'll put the 3 in there just to be safe. Anyway, Milagrazzo, that 1-horse, is on the lead in this short field. You might be thankful that I did put that 3-horse in there, Terry, because he's running right up in there. They went through the opening half of this 1 mile and 70-yard race in 49 and 17. The 1-horse that hasn't showed anything yet is that 2-horse. As they go around the bend, the 4-horse is all out. The 1-horse has not been asked to run yet. The 1-horse is going to be your easy winner, it looks like to me here, Terry. The question is who's going to come in second. And I don't see the 6-horse anywhere. Did that horse just not run today, or what the hell happened to that guy? Somebody's making a move here at the end. The 2-horse, that one's going to be, the 6-horse is way in the back. Now 2-horse is going to run by everybody. It looks like here to me, Terry.
Really, going to run by that one?
You got a horse in the middle here. Well, here comes one down at the end here, Terry. Going to make a big move. Looks like the 6-horse is going to be the one that runs by them all at the end, indeed. So you're going to go 6-horse And then you got the one horse making an interesting comeback there. That was interesting. 6, 1, and 2. 6, 1, and 2 is your order for race number 2. So your pick 3 is alive with the 6 horse in there, Terry. Your pick 4 is alive with the 6 horse in there as well. You did not have the 5, so you only get it once. Too bad you didn't put the 5 in there. You would have gotten it twice. That would have been nice. As the 6 horse in race number 2 went off at 6-1, Terry, from 5-2.
Yeah.
Nice.
But why would you get it if the 5 was in there? Doesn't the favorite have to win to get the second ticket?
But you didn't have it. Yeah.
I know, but even if I had the 5 in there,
the favorite would have had to win. You're right about that. Yeah. So, but I was hoping that you did have it twice, but you don't.
No,
because you had the 5 horse in your pick in your pick 4. So I was hoping maybe. Well, you wouldn't have had it anyway because anyway. We're all confused. The 6 horse won race 2 because of that late scratch. So back to race number 7, Terry, where we'll be a little less confused.
Yeah,
our pace
very
shake
confused
for race number 7. You do see nobody wants to close. Everybody wants to be middle forward. So this is a race that could get hot. In that case, the speed of the speed or some flexible horses might be where you're looking for your winner. We did say that 7 horse, which is an EP horse, should get to the lead. According to the recency bias, it will get to the lead. Let's see if it can hold on with late speed. No, Curly Girl, the PC type, should be right there. Not all that far off, maybe 2 lengths off the leaders. Going to make up a length late. Gone and Forgotten, the other PC horse, right there as well. Maybe a step ahead of Curly Girl as they come out of the gates. And that 2 horse does score out as the top total pace horse at 172 points. Everybody except Freddie Mo Factor probably within a shot to win this race, although I would say that Sniff and Daredevil Bull will have to probably run near their best. I'd look for the winner to come from the 2, 6, or 7, Terry. Where do you look to find your champion of this stakes race today?
2, 6, and 7. 2 Gone and Forgotten is my first pick, finishing the money in 14 out of 15 races at Finger Lakes, winning 10 races. She has the highest speed figure at today's distance. Her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters, and she has a bullet workout on August 4th. Number 6, Curly Girl. She has won 2 races out of the last 3 starts at Finger Lakes, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. And then I like the 7 horse, Queen Aurelia. She won 6 races out of 7 starts at Finger Lakes, switches to a high percentage winning jockey, and has a high percentage winning trainer and a bullet workout on August 7th. The 5 horse Daredevil Bull is my long shot, finishing the money in 9 out of last 10 races. And she's won 4 of the starts, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. So no bet for me in this race.
I like the 2 horse Gone and Forgotten as my top pick in here too, Terry. Gone and Forgotten, winner at Finger Lakes in 10 of 15 races at the distance. My God, 9 times out, 7 wins a second and a third. I mean, it's kind of hard to argue with that. And this horse won this race last year, so defending champ. Not going to give up. This is my house, Under Armour commercial. Queen Aurelia, that 7 horse, boy, that one at Finger Lakes, Terry, 7 times out, 6 wins. Oh, the only time it didn't win was last time out. Maybe something went wrong in that race, but since then has a bullet workout. So getting back on its feet there, back to the winning ways at a decent price with that triple play with the simulated odds, chance to get to the lead in strong C zone. Curly Girl coming off a big win. Looks like she has the most upside in the field. Won the last time the horse went from a route to a sprint like today. So maybe that pattern plays through again. Finally, Daredevil Bull, consistent performer, especially at 6 furlongs, where the horse has won 4 races with a second and a third in 7 tries, and another that could benefit from cutting back in distance. My trifecta is 2, 6, 7 with the 2, 7 with the 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7. Speaking of trifecta, it did end up with the trifecta in that race, Terry, last race.
Yep.
So let's see what the payouts were in race number 2. Boy, let's see, race 2, the results, the 6 horse paid $15.40 to win. That's nice, right?
Yeah.
The 6 beating the 1 horse, the favorite, for $2. That exacta, $48 on the nose. I'll take that. 50-cent trifecta, 6-1-2, which I happened to hit in my suggested wager. So I guess the cobwebs got knocked off pretty quick there. $44.12. So I think I put about 85 to work today. Getting
70
back,
something. Only
oh,
70 something.
so 70. So I'm getting back the majority of my money. Any other wins today puts me in the plus column. If you played the 6124 exacta, superfecta, excuse me, $13.65. The 1-6 double, Terry, which bodes really well for your pick 4. If you get there, $80 for
Wow.
$2. Not bad at all.
That's not bad at all. Yeah, you played 75.50 today.
75. And I got 44 back so far. So
yeah,
one more winner, and it should be a positive ROI day, which is always the goal. Always the goal.
that's right. Yep.
And when you go to the track, I don't know about you, Terry, but this is my goal when I go to the track. Go to the track. First of all, have fun, right? Because a lot of times
absolutely.
you get a little pissed off if you don't win. So you got to kind of keep that in mind. But my goal is to go to the track, come home with a few more bucks than I started, and pay for everything I eat along the way.
Oh, yeah, that's a good day.
Perfect.
I always said if you break even and pay for everything, you've won.
You did, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree. Well, let's see if we can go home a winner in race number 8, Terry. For the final time, they're going to run 1 mile and 70 yards. And what are they running for?
It's a claiming race, $11,000 claiming price, purse $17,300 for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have never won 3 races.
And then at 1 mile and 70 yards, again, early speed is a factor with a quarter of the horses going wire to wire. The rail in this case, Holy Matrimony, which I think is scratched. Maybe not be on the rail anyway, so that's probably going to fall to the 2-horse now. Bingo John, maybe a little bit of a discount for Bingo John now. And then 2 through 7 play fair. So far, 8 and out haven't scored. We do want early speed, Terry, particularly probably middle of the track on out. Scratches maybe having a little bit impact on this race, but really, yeah, taking Holy Matrimony looked like it was going to be the fastest one, but not there now.
Yeah, and it's 6 and the 1A and the 4 have the most speed. 6 and 1A the most. The 6 has a really nice overlay. It's supposed to be like 6.5 to 1 to versus 15 to 1. The 2 and the 7 have the best C-zone numbers.
Finally, the last time we will analyze the race shape. Again, we see another horse in here. That's the Sesame Street horse, one that doesn't look like the other. The 2-horse in between a couple that want to be on the front and a trio that want to close. So 2-horse could get an ideal setup. If you're a speed player, BC Glory Days, that one should be your pace setter there and there, Terry. 5 points better than Uncle Vic. So of the 2 front runners, you probably want to lean towards the 1A if you like to play speed. When they're coming down the stretch, Bingo John does have the most late speed as that lone P horse. So if he sits right behind the 6 and the 1, early figures say he might be a little bit more than a little behind those 2. But if he can manage to snuggle up to the front runners, that late speed should make it difficult to hold off at the end. Our total pace play makes this race look like it's a pretty competitive race. The 6, the 2, the 4, and the 1A all within 1 point of each other. With, well, I would say you're probably going to find the winner in that quartet there, Terry. What do you think?
Yeah, I like in this race the 4 Beach Boy Al. He has won 2 races in a row, and he's going for that hat trick, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and a high percentage winning jockey and a bullet for a furlong workout on August 8th. Bingo John, the 2 is my second choice, finished 3rd versus Tupper in his last race. Drops in class today, has the highest last speed rating. The 1A, BC Glory Days. He drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 27% of the races when taking a horse from a sprint to a route. And he's my 3rd pick. Kong loves the fight, especially if he fights that one from Japan. What's that called? Godzilla. Number 3 is my long shot. He finished out of the money as a favorite in his last race, but he has a trainer who wins 27% of the races when bringing back a favorite to race again. I have no money left, so I can't bet this.
We have the same 2 horses up top. That 4-horse, Beach Boy Al, unbeaten in a couple at Finger Lakes. And since it last one at Finger Lakes has a couple of excellent, including a bullet workout, seems like it is a horse for the course. Bingo John's going to drop in class last time out. Bingo John ran the top last race speed figure. If you're new to horse racing and you're reading through the program and you see top last race speed figure and drop in class, that's usually a pretty good combination. Many of those have found their way to the winner's circle. For me, does have a maintenance workout or 2 between races, so should stay sharp. Uncle Vic, the 6-horse, last race, better than it looks as the times were a little bit quicker last time out relative to the race before that. That's a sign of improvement. And then finally, Terry, your handicapping angle here with the 1A, BC Glory Days. Trainer scratched one, left this one in. According to Terry, this is the better one of the two then.
That's right.
Does have plenty of early speed. Maybe the drop in class here helps the 1A keep that speed a little bit longer. We'll find out. I'm going to do a trifecta, 246 over to 24 with the 1A, 2346. That's it for me today at Finger Lakes. Here are our full picks for the day. So far in race number 1, the 1 horse came home as your winner, followed up by the 6 horse in race number 2. We'll see what happens in race number 3. Right now, the 6 horse is a prohibitive favorite at 3-5, although a favorite hasn't come close to sniffing the winner's circle so far. So maybe the favorites do here, Terry. Any final thoughts before we get out of here and come back tomorrow to discuss Horseshoe Indianapolis?
No, just have a great day. I hope that everybody's okay with the weather the way it's been. It's been crazy everywhere. Been hot here, and I'm sure that people are having problems with that. But just be safe. Give your loved ones a kiss and a hug, and just have a great rest of the week.
And of course, and probably not happening, but the folks who are down in Hawaii, we certainly hope anybody in that area that things don't turn out as bad as they look like they may turn out with all those fires down there and burning up that town. We certainly hope that there are some good stories to come out of that down the line. No matter what you're doing for the rest of this day, again, don't forget to join us tonight, 8 p.m. Jamie and Sean. Should be another fantastic week of Horse Center shows. Again, Terry and I will be back tomorrow, about 10 minutes to post for race number 1 at Horseshoe Indianapolis. Wednesday and Thursday, Charles and I together for Saratoga. Till we get together again, certainly, we want to thank God for you joining us today and hope that you do indeed have God's grace and God's favor, and that no matter what it is you're doing for the rest of this Money Monday, Terry, it ends up in one place, and that can only be
the winner's circle.
Absolutely. I don't think I screwed up too many on my first day back, except maybe for my picks in race number 1. Look forward to joining everybody again tomorrow. Have a fantastic Monday.